Konnichiwa, hello one and all. Candace Otaku is here with you today with a CGC return, about 83 cards in total. At least half of those being a gem at 10 or better. A little bit of everything today. Uh, Mostly going to be Pokemon cards. One in particular that I'm looking at that could be a very valuable one. But without further ado, we'll just go ahead and jump right into it, starting with the lowest and working our way up. Uh, Starting off with a Bandai Wafer card. This is the White Day promo for Silica from Sword Art Online with a 6.5. Uh, didn't really notice it at the time, but there is a nice little crease right there in the upper corner. I'm not sure if that's caused by me or the company. I don't remember it being there when I sent it in, but it was what card I want to get sent in regardless. Since they're doing everything now, I thought I'd send some different ones in just to see what kind of grades we would get. This is from 2017, so a little bit older. Not gonna complain too much about the grade because it's not like I got this one done for the purpose of selling. It was for myself. Next up was a 7.5, and that is Hamura from Puella Magia Madoka Magica from the Precious Memories card series. This was a 2011 one, and it's got a silver signature. It says TD on there. I'm thinking that probably means trial deck. Don't really know if that means anything special. Uh, Another one that got probably gonna be for myself, especially with being a lower grade. It's not awful, but yeah, just one of those that from an anime I like, and it was a signature. That'd be worth sending in. Next up, we have an 8. This is uh, I think this was from the movie. This was a movie promo from Sword Art Online from 2020. This is Silicon Elizabeth, uh, more or less cosplaying as police officers. Again, stuff for me, stuff I've had that I thought I'd go ahead and get sent in. Got our first Pokemon card here, and this one is the Psychic Energy Crown from Crown Zenith. So it's like I don't think it's secret rare, but it's one of the special foil cards of the energy. With an 8, probably not worth much of anything. I think I've got a similar one from a Japanese psychic energy card that I've been trying to sell on eBay for a while that just hasn't moved, so that's unfortunate for that. Next up, we've got a Japanese Pokemon card, and this one is the Metal Energy, but it's a Tanto uh, crossover with Pokemon, so it's more or less a promo card. Lower grade again doesn't really matter because this one's for personal collection. I've got the top of my wall, right in front of me here. I've got from one side of the room, going about halfway across the room, lined up with different variants of cards. So I'd added a couple of metal energies to add to that. So yeah, not a great grade, not bad. And of course, it's not hollow or anything, so it's not like there's anything special to it. So another one for me, not too hurt on the price or the grade for it. Then another U.S. Pokemon card, which is the Galarian Gallery Pikachu from Crown Zenith, and an 8. I think I only set this one in because, like a lot of these Galarian Gallery cards, not really worth much of anything. I think this was one of them that I decided to send in because if it got a gem at 10 or better, it'd been valued at like maybe $40. At an 8, I will probably be listing that on eBay for probably $20 and probably sell for 15. Oh, and that's one thing I forgot to mention. Most of these cards, the ones that I won't be keeping, will be going up on eBay at some point. I will try my best to remember to put a link in the bottom of the video, or somewhere after I get this video uploaded, to allow people to go visit my eBay store and see what all cards I've got. Because besides all this here, I've got at least 100 other cards I've got listed so far, and probably another eh, 50 to 70 cards that I still have yet to get posted. And the last of the eights here, we've got the Lucario and Malmetal, and this is from one of the Power Partnership tins. So this is the card that would have been um, in a little like visual display, like the those metal tins that they have. There's usually like a little square for like one of the promo cards to be in, and that's what this one was. So this has got an 8. I think I've got another one in there for a different card. I might have two of these. I can't remember, but the fact that it's gonna be better than an 8 is potentially a good sign. All right. Next up, we've got the 8.5s, starting with a Wii Cross here, and this is an Urith card, SP 8th anniversary. A lot of the Wii Cross Urith cards, again, my personal collection. Another part of my wall here, I've got lined up with a bunch of different ones of Urith. Don't know anything about the character. I just like the design, and it's like, oh, if I want to collect for one particular character, then I guess this one's not too bad. All right, got another US Pokemon card, and this is Mime Jr. from the newer Paldean Fates Shiny collection. So I think there were a few of the shiny versions that I decided to send in because they might have some value to them if they scored high or if they graded high. An 8.5 on this, it's probably going to be about the same as that Pikachu. So, probably $20 card. Next up here, we've got the M Lucario EX all art. This is from Furious Fist. I think this is one I might have actually purchased from Double Jump Video Games as a raw card, and I decided to send it in. I've done that a couple times with cards I've gotten from them. This might be one of the better grades I've gotten. I've got one in particular that I actually got from their eBay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was their eBay store for a very rough metal energy that graded a 3.5, and that one's the one that's on my wall right now too. It's it's rough shape, but I thought it'd be interesting to see what it would grade at. I don't think I've ever seen a grade below 3.5 from CGC. If I have, I don't remember what it is, but that is the lowest graded card I've got in my collections right now is a 3.5. The next lowest one is like a base set Venusaur, which is a 4, and that's in PSA form. Next up here, we've got the Metal Energy, and that's Scarlet and Violet Basic Energy. And yeah, just another one to go up on the wall. I've been trying to get them. Well, I think right now the ones I've got up there are in chronological order, so this one might be the most recent one. It's from the Scarlet and Violet set. I can't remember if I got any more after this one. I know I sent in at least 2 or 3 Metal Energies. Next up here is it's one of the gold stadium cards. This is Artisan from Obsidian Flames. I think there's a few of the North American Pokemon cards that I actually pulled myself. There's a few of them that I did end up, buying off of eBay or whatnot and sent in that way. But a lot of them have been ones that I got myself from pulls, like buying hundreds of dollars worth of Pokemon cards just to get bupkis out of it. So an 8.5 on that. It's a little tough, but yeah, it might go for a fair amount. Now, as you can see on the back of this one, this is a special card. It's a little different from the rest. And that's because this is the gold medal Mew EX card from the Scarlet and Violet 151 set. So this is one I know for sure I bought off of Whatnot and just sent in. I honestly was surprised to find out that they would grade the metal cards like this. I think it's kind of cool. This one was definitely just for personal preference. I thought I'd send it in and make a nice little piece that I could possibly hang up. I can't remember if I still have it up there or not. Uh, I've got a Ancient Mew card that's a lower grade. Or is it the Ancient Mew? Yeah, I think so. With the hieroglyphics and whatnot. So I'll probably put this one up next to that and it will look pretty nice. Well, here is the other one. Unfortunately, not the high grade I was looking for, but I guess I can't complain too much. The Mew and Mewtwo GX from the GX 10s, another 8.5. Uh, I think the card raw does still go for like $30 to $40, so maybe this one could be like 50 to 60. Um, I had those tins for the longest time and just decided to open them up because they were just sitting around and I didn't feel like, you know, having to find packaging to try to ship it out and not really get much of anything out of it. And then the last of the 8.5s, and we have the Darkness Energy from Crown Zenith. And that's another one of those that's like, near the end of the base number set, so it's not like a secret rare, but just like one of the full art variants, I guess, of the card. And I can see from the camera that there is a nice little print line. At least I think that's a print line. Or maybe, well, I don't know. You can see it right in there, so that's probably why I got the lower score. And a little thinness on the side. All right. So from here on out, these are the ones that, nines and higher usually can go for a decent amount depending on what they are. Of course, there's some in here that are very obscure cards, so it's hard to tell what kind of value there is to them. Starting off with one here, I believe this is from, I know it's from one of the arcade card battle games in Japan. I can't remember if it's Fate. Oh yeah, Fate Grand Order. So this one is BB, and it's a 9. And yeah, I just like the hollow design on it, and that'd be worth sending in just to see what kind of grade it got. And um, not sure about this one, but there are some of the uh, card battle games over in Japan that have been discontinued. So the cards are it. There's no reproductions of them or anything else. So what you see is what's left. So for a collector, could be worth a little bit something. And because it's from an arcade, it's hard to tell. Like if it's one that's been in circulation, it's definitely going to have some wear to it. All right, this one is from a unique game called Castor Chronicles, and it is a promotional card with stocking from the anime Panty and Stocking. If you don't know what that is, go look it up. So yeah, that's a promo card. I think raw these things have been going for around like $20 to $25, and a mint 9. And it's hard to tell. another Wii Cross here. And this is, see, Urith and Hanare. It's a movie promo. I can't really say too much more about that one. Got our first Weiss Schwartz in the pile here. And this is, well, definitely a keeper for me. The always friendly Silica SP with the signature on there. Apparently, this card is a highly playable card in the card game itself. Of course, you know, if you get an SP one like this, why would you want to play it? For a mint 9 on that, I'm pretty happy. I think the last SP card I tried to send in got like an 8.5. So that one's definitely going to be a keeper. I've got uh, the SR version of this, which is basically the same card without the signature. And I think I've got that in a pristine 10. So, not bad. Here's the first of the Sword Art Online arcade card games. And this is a silica foil in maid outfit. And I think most of them that I had been sending in were the foil variants. I've got a whole bunch in a folder that are non-foil. Yeah, anytime I did come across any of the ones that were a foil, I tried to send in just to see if I could get a good grade out of it. I think the lowest one I've gotten right now is a 8.5, and then the highest one is a gem mint 10. So possibility I could uh, do better with that today because I did send in several of these. All right, next up is one of, I believe, two of the cards of this one I sent in, Leafa and Silica. I'm pretty sure I had two of them, and it's another 4-star foil. I'm pretty positive. I don't know if there's any other duplicates I'd sent in of that, or of, well, any card. I guess there were some Pokemon cards that had some duplicates. Okay. This one is another Bandai promo of, Silica in a 9. This is almost a similar look to the White Day one, but, much nicer condition. Next up, we have a campaign promo of Beerus from Super Dragon Ball Heroes. And this is, I'm not entirely sure. I know I got this one and wanted to send it in. It says 18th, 2013. I'm not sure if that's like the 18th anniversary of Dragon Ball. I should know better, but I just recently gotten into playing a form of the Dragon Ball Super's game on the Switch, and even though it's a lot of the same, it's kind of fun. I could easily see it having been a you know a mobile game because that's kind of how it feels, but it is pretty fun and it's kind of addicting to you know play the gotcha machines to try and get new cards and potentially seeing a card like this in the game. And I've got a little spot on the wall for this as well, so I'll be adding that to the collection. All right, next up is the Judge Full Art Supporter card from Paldean Fates. I don't know why. I think a lot of the like supporter or trainer cards that were full art that I end up pulling, it's like, well, I might as well try to get some money out of it, so I'll send it in to get graded. If it gets a good grade, then might get something for it. But it's like, unless you're going for a particular set of cards, like who wants to buy a graded judge card? I don't know. There might be someone out there. Okay, next up is the Charizard EX from Paldean Fates. Not a bad grade at all. I know there were several Charizard cards I had sent in, since that seems to be the one that people always go for. And the fact that, I'm going to have all of them being a 9 or better is a nice sign. So, yeah, I don't think this is anything particularly special. It looks like it's number 54 out of 91, but, it's still a Charizard, so send it in, and it's like either try to sell it right away or sit on it for a while, and maybe at some point that particular one will be worth more. Next up is a shiny Sneasel from Paldean Fates. Nothing more to say there. Yeah, here was the oh yeah, full art metal energy from Crown Zenith, and a 9. And I did like on this one how in the hollow it's got little metal energy symbols in there as well. I don't know if I can catch it just right. You can kind of see it when I shimmy it like that. So yeah, I hope I've got enough space. I'll between today and tomorrow I'll be working on putting a bunch of these up and getting some others listed on eBay. All right, here's the first big secret rare that I had pulled, and that was a Garchomp EX from Paradox Rift in a 9. Um, not sure how popular Garchomp is, but the fact that it was one of the gold cards, I thought, yeah, I'll go ahead and send it in. Seems like the North American Pokemon cards are a little bit tougher to get good grades on, just because I don't know if the production value here is not as good as over there in Japan. Because it seems like I think I only had like one, maybe two Japanese cards in here so far, but everything else is like a 9. I don't know if I got any 9.5s. It might all just be 10s or better. Another gold one. This one is the Reversal Energy from Paradox Rift. And again, it's like, don't really know if there's any interest out there for like energy cards or anything like that. But, when it's one of the gold ones like this, I just think you'll go send it in, and worst case scenario, it gets a low grade and you just go ahead and sell it for like $20 or so. Lastly, for the 9s, we have Lapras from Crown Zenith. And this was another one that's like glaring gallery cards, not really worth a whole lot, but if it got a decent enough grade, it could. And I think Lapras is one of those that does seem to get a little bit of love and attention every once in a while, so thought that'd be worth sending in. Just a few 9.5s. That one seems to be the more unique one to get. I think my last submission I only got like one 9.5, and this time I've got, I believe, 5. So first one is a North American Pokemon card, and that is Paldean Student. I know there's like 2 different variants of Paldean Student, so this might be one that I've sent in multiples of. We'll find out here, because it might be in this pile here. Oh, well, first off, we got Clive with the fancy pompadour haircut there. Oh, here's a pretty nice one. This was a Pidgeot EX full art shiny in a 9.5. We got a shiny Ralts in 9.5. I guess they call them like the baby shinies. And then our last in the 9.5s is a Steelix. I forgot I'd pulled this one. Yeah, this was from Paradox Rift. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure this is one of those that I had pulled, I knew I was going to send in, but I was thinking to myself if I wanted to keep it or sell it, because this is a secret art. Um, More than likely, for some reason, I'm just not as big of a fan of Steelix, even though he is like the OG metal type. So probably going to be selling that one. Might look at the pricings on it, see how it's selling, and decide one way or the other for sure. But I'm happy with the grade at least. And then 25 minutes into the video, we're up to Gem Mint 10 and Pristine 10. So we'll go ahead and start off with our Gem Mint 10 pile here. We've got some Wii Cross to start with. This is another one with. I'm actually not sure that. For some reason, I thought this one had Urith in it. I think there's a couple different characters that look like her, so this might not be one. I'll have to take a look, and if it's not, then this one will be selling. So to get a Gem at 10 Wii Cross that might be sold on eBay, I will not argue with that. Especially since I think a lot of the Wii Cross I've gotten anymore, it's just been for personal collection. So yeah, here's Evil Eyed Urith. And yeah, I don't know. The hairstyle does look the same. The bandage, I'd say, looks the same. It might be the same character, so who knows? All right, next off, another one, and of course the same thing. Doesn't say Urith on there, but pretty sure that's who it is. And these are all LRs. I'm not sure what that means in the rarity form, or if that even accounts to anything as far as the rarity, like, or value. I honestly don't know much about Wii Cross, if anything. I just, yeah, came across some cars. I like the looks of them. The holo looked great. It's like, oh, this has probably got some value to it, and usually did not. Here's another Bandai wafer, and this one is another silica, of course, from 2018, which scored a Gem Mint 10. So pretty happy with that. Another of the arcade cards. This is a 5-star silica in the Casino Bunny Girl outfit. So very happy with that, with the Gem Mint. And then here's that second Leafa and Silica card in the Gem Mint 10. So I'll have to decide, because, like I said, I'm not entirely sure if there's any true value to these or not. So it's like if it would be one that's got some value to it, I might consider selling the 10 and keeping the other one. Otherwise, keep this one, sell the less valuable one. Next up here, it looks like we've got one from the Dragon Ball Super card game. And it is a Beerus Ball in Gem Mint 10. This is a special rare card. I had seen some listings online. Of course, it's been a few months, so they've probably changed prices since then. But I think in a 10, and of course this is PSA, which I don't think is fair to try to compare. Like if you say like a PSA 10 is worth $100 and then a CGC 10 is worth $20. But yeah, I think 10s were going for like around $75 or more, maybe even $100. I'm not entirely sure, but doesn't really matter if it's gonna go up on the wall. But this is one I'd end up buying off of someone on Whatnot, so you know that tells you that the people on Whatnot do sell some quality items, because you could get a Gem at 10 out of it. All right, so now we're getting into the ones that could be a little scary, because this is some of the Japanese Pokemon cards, and there is one in particular. I think it'll be good no matter what, because it's a 10, but If it's a gem mint 10, uh, the value of it, I'm guessing, would probably be around $500 or more. If it's a pristine 10, I could possibly see it being $1,000. Whether that's true or not, whether I'm exaggerating, I'm not really sure. Just from what I'd seen when I was submitting the card and seeing what um, current listings were for that particular card. So first off, we have a Togepi, Cleffa, and Igglypuff GX from the Tag Team All Stars set. And yet there were quite a few of the Tag Team All Stars that I had sent in, and like I said, the Japanese cards just better quality when they come out. Like all the ones from the Tag Team GX were 10s. All right, here's Nimona, one of the full art trainer cards. I'm not sure if she's quite as popular as some of the others like Skyla, um, so it's hard to tell. For some reason, the female trainers can go for quite a bit. So this is one of the newer ones, so possibly a decent amount of value to it. Um, the card I mentioned that could be highly valuable is a trainer card, and you'll find out why once we get to it. Okay, so here's the other variant of that Paldean student that I mentioned earlier. So it's got 4 different kids on there. Oh, and apparently I got lucky and scored double with that. So there's 2 of those. For some reason, I thought it was the other one that I had duplicates of, but it was this one. So that worked out. Again, it's one of those that really don't know if there's people that are looking for cards like that. But with it being a Gem Mint 10, it might garner some attention. This was one I was really happy about. Would have been a little nicer if it was a pristine, but I will definitely take a Gem Mint 10 because it's the Black Star promo from the Palladian Fates Elite Trainer box. So I bought 2 of the trainer boxes, and I went with the one that looked the nicest out of the 2. I knew the other one was not going to be a 10, so I was kind of hoping that this one would be. And yeah, Mimikyu is one of the ones I am quite fond of. So Gem at 10 is awesome. I'll definitely be holding on to that one. Gonna be putting that. Well, I got one of 2 places. I don't know if it's gonna have actual value to it since the Black Star promos, depending on how many there are in circulation, could either be fairly valuable or not at all. But with being a gem at 10, that hopefully means that it's got good value in it. All right, here's our other giant shiny baby. I guess it's not a baby, it's a full art. This is a Noivern EX from Paldean Fates. I can't remember if this is the one that has the iconic Batman-esque pose in a secret art. I feel like it is. So, yeah, it's a Noivern. Don't really know too much about him. He does look cool, so I can see that one having some value. Same with this one here. This is the shiny Snorlax. For some reason, at the time when I was looking up values, the Snorlax shiny was more valuable than a lot of the other shinies. I'm not sure if it's just because people like Snorlax or if there's something else to it. But yeah, we'll gem at 10. We won't argue with that. Oh, and here's our other gold, and that's, I don't even know how to pronounce this, Wu-Chin EX from Paldean Fates. Again, it's a card that looks really nice. You'd think would probably be valuable since it's one of the secret arts, but, well, gold. But I honestly don't know. I imagine it's probably, worst case scenario, like $30. I'd hope it'd be worth more, but we'll have to see. Okay. And then here is the Golden Birds, Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno from Tag Team All Stars. So pretty nice gem at 10 there of them. Um, I do feel like there's some of the Japanese cards that hold more value than the North American ones. I can't remember if this is one of them or not. I'd really liked if this one was like, oh, it's like you got a 10 on that one. Well, that's a few $100 there. And then we've got it was a hollow lightning energy from Tag Team All Stars GX. So I did get a couple nice looking, hollow energy cards as well from that set. So it's like, well, I'll send them in. I think it was lightning energy, and then it was either a fairy or dark. I can't remember which one for sure now. Okay, so we do have a Charizard V Star that's in a Gem Mint 10. Of course, it's not a special variant or anything, but hey, it's Charizard. You get a Gem Mint 10 Charizard. I'm sure that's worth something, right? Next up here is Full Art Trainer Rhyme. I think, wasn't she the trainer of a ghost type trainer, right? In the snowy mountain area. Okay, next up is Cynthia's Ambition from Crown Zenith in a Gem Mint 10. So this is a Galarian Gallery card, and it's a Cynthia card. So I don't know where this one ranks in value, but with Gem Mint 10, I would hope that that means it's, decent enough. I think there are some Cynthia cards that do go for a pretty penny. Oh, same with this one. Irida, not sure which one's the right pronunciation, but another trainer card from Crown Zenith, and again another Galarian Gallery variant. Uh, Potentially worthwhile. I know it's the whole thing about collectors and the waifu cards. I don't know if those either one of those last two would be considered that or not. All right, so we do have a Zacian V from Crown Zenith. I do like Zacian. The only thing is that it's the psychic energy instead of the metal energy. So while the card does look very nice, I guess unless it's just not going for anything or no one has any interest in it online, probably gonna sell that one. Hisuian Samurott, another Galarian Gallery variant. Um, Another very beautiful card, and a Gem Mint 10. Pretty happy with that. Uh, don't know if there's any value to that, but surely with the high grade, that should give it a little bit of a chance in the market. Okay, yeah, I forgot about this guy here, Tyranitar EX Shiny from Obsidian Flames. It's yeah, it is. It's a secret rare and it's a shiny, so I feel like Tyranitar does have some fans as well. And of course, it's the funny one that's got like it's electric, so it's got a giant light bulb on its head. So I feel like this is one that had potential of having some value. Next up is Sharon's Care. I guess I had a lot from Crown Zenith. I know I grabbed a whole bunch of different like mini boosters and regular boosters for Crown Zenith just because of Lucario being a potential pull out of those. So I ended up getting some decent cards out of Crown Zenith. I guess I should have just decided to stick with all that. or maybe bought more. I don't know. Because yeah, I think Crown Zenith is one of the last sets I actually had decent pulls out of. Everything else, including like the Paldean Fates, has just been kind of hit and miss. I think things lately have kind of been that same way. I feel like some people are even saying like the 151 set was bad. All right, so we do have our first Radiant card, and that is the Radiant Eternatus from Crown Zenith. I think there's uh, at least half a dozen or more Radiant cards I end up sending in. I don't know if there's really anything special about the Radiant card, but the way they look, it's just like, why would you not want to try to send it in and see if you can get a good grade for it? And for a gem at 10, and that's what all my Radiant cards are getting, I'm going to be happy. Like this one, the Radiant Jirachi. I think this is the only Jirachi card I got, and you better believe I'm keeping this. It's Metal Energy. It's a 10, so that's a winner for me. And the fact that I've only got three left here, and I haven't come across that one I said was the big one, unless there's another Japanese hiding in here. Nope. These are all North Americans, so my big one is in this pile, which I'm pretty stoked for because it's a beauty, I'll tell you that. All right, so we do have a Radiant Charizard in a gem at 10. I think the last one I tried to send in got an 8.5, so the fact that I got a gem at 10 out of this makes me pretty happy. And there's his brother, another Radiant Charizard in a gem at 10. Uh, Unfortunately, I think the Radiant Charizard is probably one of the more easy to pull ones, so even at a gem at 10, it might not be worth all that much, but I'll try to keep positive about it. And then ending the 10s with a Charizard V from Crown Zenith. So yeah, all all three of those Charizards were from Crown Zenith, and they all got gem at 10s. So I guess I can't really say too much bad about North American uh, Pokemon cards because at least some of them have been getting very good grades. Now, while I get this slightly organized, the big roundup here. Of course, it's not going to be at the bottom. I know it's at the bottom. It's special for me. But yeah, the rest of these here, which let me make sure, I think is 18. Yes, 18 cards, which were all pristine 10s. I think that beat my previous submission. I think that was 13 cards that got pristines. So, like I said, there's a little bit of variety in here, but I do think there's quite a bit of them that are the Japanese Pokemon cards. So we'll go ahead and get started on these and see what we end up with. Uh, Starting off with, uh, it's a KR from, yeah, Lacey. Lacey cards have been ones that have been pretty kind to me as far as getting good grades. I don't know if this one had any value to it, but it was one that, just looked different. Yeah, so there's that. And then, of course, we do have a few more of the SAO arcade cards, or at least one. And that means I do finally have one that's better than a Gem Mint 10. And it's Elizabeth in Silica. I'm pretty sure they put that in. Yeah, they put that in upside down. I don't know why they did that, because the stars are usually supposed to be up top here. But yeah, it's Elizabeth and Silica. Again, in the I'm assuming the casino bunny girl outfits or some form of bunny girl outfit. But yeah, that should be a dead giveaway because you look at the bottom here, and you got the Bandai Namco, you've got the date that the card is in circulation at the arcades, and yeah, it's like that's the bottom, and they put it in like this. So not only is it a pristine 10, it's upside down. So that's definitely something. Uh, Yeah, it's a pristine 10, so I guess I shouldn't really complain too much, but I guess that's how that one's gonna be. All right, so we do have Pikachu and Zekrom GX in a pristine 10. These ones, they're just the base form. I think there are secret rares or full arts, sorry, full arts and rainbow variants of some of the tag team combos. Like I think this one here has a gold Zekrom and Pikachu, which if that was a gem at or a pristine 10, that would have been you know hundreds of dollars in value. Uh, these ones probably not, um, but for a pristine 10, I think that's definitely going to help the value of those. Here's the one I was hoping would get a good one. The Carrion Malmetal GX. I think I've already got the Japanese one in graded form already, but with a pristine 10, I'm probably going to be holding on to this one and probably looking to sell the other one. I can't remember what it is, or it might not even be a CGC, so we'll have to see. We got Reshiram and Charizard GX in the pristine 10, and just to make sure, I think I had two. Yep, there we go. So two Reshiram Charizard GXs, two pristine 10s. One is ending in 3024, the other is in 3025. So that's pretty awesome. I'm kind of like hesitant to show some of these because it's like once we get to that one, I kind of want to save it for last, but we'll see. Next up is Greninja and Zoroark GX. So, yeah, even though, well, I guess I shouldn't say because they're base cards from that set. The Tag Team All Stars from Japan, those boxes blew up in value over the course of, I want to say, 4 to 5 years. Because I bought two of them, and I think I spent no more than like $100 a piece on them. And now, if you look online, uh, you could probably you probably wouldn't be able to buy one under $250. So the value has skyrocketed, which I'm not sure if that's a good sign for the individual cards, because I know there are some particular cards in the set that if you pulled it and it got a good grade, uh, would be monumental. So this one wasn't really anything special. It was from that Tag Team All Stars. It was a Victini card. I think I only sent it in because Victini is one that I've kind of had a soft spot for. Even though he's not Metal, even though he's not Riolu or Lucario or Mimikyu. And I think yeah, it's just well, it was a well, the hollow one of the hollow variants. So yeah, I'll probably be holding on to that one for a little bit. Oh well, and speaking of, there's the one next to it, the Jirachi, and that is a metal. I think yeah, I think pretty sure the only reason I sent those ones is because one was the one of the legendaries I liked, the other one was a legendary that I liked and had um, the class that I like. This one, actually, I'm really not sure why I sent this one in. Uh, Reverse Hollow Eevee. It might have just been because that was one of the like less common variants, but with a pristine 10, yeah, I guess that's all right. Uh, Honestly, that might be one of like the cheapest pristine 10s. So I can't really see that a Reverse Hollow Eevee would be worth much of anything. Here's Ultra Necrozma GX in a pristine 10. And yeah, that's one of those cards that I thought looked pretty badass. Rayquaza GX, a pristine 10. Yeah, I think a lot of the GX cards probably don't hold much of value, but Rayquaza was one that was pretty popular. I think it was the Evolving Skies North American set that was pretty popular for a while there because there's like one or two variants of Rayquaza that you could get that were pretty valuable. Oh, well, here's that fairy energy hollow form, and I got a pristine 10. So if there's any fans of fairy energies, that's probably a nice one to get a hold of. Not sure exactly how valuable, and of course, anyone who was interested and wanted to get a hold of me on any of these, I would probably make a fair deal with. I'm not gonna say, okay, well, price charting saying it's worth this much, so we're gonna double it. Okay, I gotta save that one for last because that is the last of the Japanese cards, which means that is the big one I have been waiting for. At least I think so. All right, so we do have a few more North American cards to show off. Okay, yeah, forgot about this one. Um, okay, Arceus V Star, pristine 10. I I think I had sold a Giratina V Star. That was the same Galarian Gallery variant for a little over $100, and that was in a, I think that was in a 9. So the fact that this one's in a pristine 10, um, ugh, that one could be, gosh, that could be the value of a Switch. Quite possibly. I honestly forgot I sent that in, and I'm happy I'm happy I did forget because that's a nice surprise. No, I did get a pristine. So one of the other Charizards I sent in, just a regular V Star, but it's a pristine 10 V Star. So hey, that's pretty nice. I'll I'll maybe make a little money off of some of these Charizards. It's hard to tell. Oh, and then there's the other Eternatus I sent in, and it of course got a pristine 10. I was kind of worried though with because of the the cross design on the hollow that they would see that as potential print lines. I don't know how they could really determine what's a print line and what's not. So I wasn't sure on any of these Radiant cards if they would get great grades. But yeah, I'm not gonna say anything bad about that. Let me. I gotta pull this one out to show at the end, just because of what it is. Because this is gonna be my original one to end with, just a happy note for me. But the fact that I've got that and then this, uh, so yeah, this was gonna be the last one I was gonna show off of the pristines because it's one for my collection and because of who it is. It's my sweet baby boy Riolu from Shiny Treasure EX in a pristine 10. This one I'm most positive I bought at least two of from an eBay store. I can't remember the guy's name. It's like Cardster Tokyo, I believe. Got a lot of the Shiny Treasure EX cards. The only thing is that the ones I bought, I I looked at them just to judge if I should try to send them in, and I knew that most of them were not going to get great grades. This one I kind of went, it's like, yeah, I guess I'll send it in because have been trying to get um, all shinies of Lucario and Riolu graded, both North American and Japanese. So I've got this one, so I just need the North American one. All right. Well, if that wasn't great enough already, uh, with that card, Arceus the god Pokemon, which I could already think of one person in particular that would be interested in that. But this card here was one that I pulled, and when I saw what it was going for raw, I was pretty excited because when I was looking at it, I was like, well, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it. So I sent it, and it's like, if it gets a 10, I'll sell it for this much. If it gets a pristine 10, I'm probably going to ask for a ridiculous amount just because it could potentially grab it. And that is the Misty and Lorelei Tag Team All Stars Trainer card. So you got these two lovely ladies here. It's the full art, and it's a pristine 10. And yeah, I could be wrong, but I was thinking that PSA 10s of this card were going close to $1,000. So it might not be a far stretch for me to say, hey, I've got a pristine 10, and it looks very nice with that gold on there. So I'm thinking, hey, starting price of $1,000, just leave it on there for a month or so, see if anyone wants to grab it. Even if it doesn't go for that much and I decide to settle for even half of that, that's gonna make up for what I end up paying for those boxes that I got, 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, those two cards there seem to be pretty special hits. Um, that one, because of what I know about it with well, the the legendaries in the Glaring Gallery from Crown Zenith have been going pretty well, and for that high of a grade is pretty nice. But this one, just the fact that I had these boxes sitting in my room or in my house for a few years before I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna open them. I don't care. And to pull that and to get that grade, yeah, that's just from these two cards alone. I could easily uh pay for what it costs to send all these cards in, which was a little over $900. Which, if I could finally have a turnaround with my card submission of making profit, because every time it's been I sell a bunch of them, and I don't make anywhere near as much back as what I paid to submit them. So finally have something potential to turn a profit. I'm pretty happy and excited about that. And with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and say thank you, one and all, for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Before I forget, I will try to put a link in the video for access to my eBay page where I will be listing these. I'm not sure exactly how soon I will try to get these listed, but I guess if this video gets a fair amount of views and I have a high demand of people saying, hey, I'd be interested in that, I will get them listed as quickly as I can. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed. And until next time, I will see you later and take care.